Mr. Speaker, House Republicans have made a promise to the American people. We promise to deliver single-subject appropriations bills that responsibly fund government by cutting wasteful spending and investing in necessary services. H.R. 4820 and H.R. 4821 will cut billions in unnecessary government spending and prevent overreaching regulations while prioritizing vital programs. The Appropriations Committees made these cuts by rejecting the administration's request to increase bureaucracy and their request to increase wasteful climate and equity initiatives.
I don't know how anybody could come here with a straight face and say that this is good legislating. The only thing that is good is the fact that they're so extreme that even Senate Republicans are not going to take any of this garbage seriously. It further harms our environment and ignores the impact of climate change. I mean, open your eyes, I would say to my Republican friends. If you don't believe that climate change is real now, then you're hopeless. You're hopeless. You should go retire. You're not fit to be here. Look, the decision here is simple. The two appropriation bills that we're talking about today, I mean, literally strip billions and billions of dollars that fund essential agency functions and services. Members are either for these extreme funding cuts or they're not. And I would say to my friends on the Republican side who like to masquerade as moderates, you can't get away with saying, oh, I just wanted to move the process along. The bottom line is you vote for these bills, you own what is in them. Please understand that. On the Transportation and Housing and Urban Development and Related Agencies bill, I mean, they cut $26 billion below the 2023 levels. It raises costs while threatening to damage our nation's economy. It makes travel and communities less safe. Who does that? It strips away equal access to housing and community development investments. Like, who does that? And on the Interior, Environment, and Related Agencies bills, again, deep cuts, deep cuts, aimed at trying to undo attempts to deal with the climate crisis. We're having wildfires all over the world and in this country. Extreme weather conditions, floods and droughts. I mean, talk to your farmers, talk to people in your community. Everybody gets it, but except the Republican conference here has its head in the sand. So on these appropriation bills, it is clear. I mean, read the bills. Read the bills. You know, everybody in this House, everybody is horrified by the events of October 7th. The terrible tragedy that occurred that day. Israeli civilians massacred that day. And my Republican friends say they want to help Israel, and so what do? They condition the aid to Israel on essentially a tax break for millionaires and billionaires and corporations that cheat on their taxes. Really? That's what they're thinking about. That's the focus. Don't miss an opportunity to help the well-off and the well-connected. Don't miss an opportunity to help tax cheats who are millionaires and billionaires and big corporations. Let's not miss an opportunity to try to help them be able to continue to cheat on their taxes. They may be big donors, but I'm going to tell you what they do is not right. It's illegal. They ought to be held accountable. The same way that average working people are held accountable. Rich people in this country do not pay taxes anywhere near as much as average workers in this country. Rich people don't pay as much taxes as nurses and teachers and laborers and people who work hard every day just to make ends meet. Come on, we ought to be able to agree on that. But to condition any aid on helping protect these tax cheaters, boy, that's cynical. But it tells you where their priorities are, Madam Speaker. So the question is, members either want to provide the aid to Israel or they don't. And if you really were serious about this, you wouldn't politicize it. If you were really serious about this, you'd be working in a bipartisan way, not only with Democrats in the House, but with Republicans and Democrats in the Senate and with the White House, and let's get this thing done quickly, but can't do it. And they decide that can't bring themselves to support any kind of humanitarian aid. Half the people who live in Gaza, half the people, are children. Are children. They're not Hamas. They're just innocent children. The idea that we'll get to a humanitarian aid package, whenever we feel like it. I mean, really? Are you watching the footage on TV? Are you reading about the reports about the suffering? These children need help now. They needed help a week ago. The idea that, we just can't talk about that right now. It's inhumane. It's inhumane. Nothing in here to help Ukraine. And by the way, there's a humanitarian crisis unfolding in Ukraine as well. That humanitarian aid package would help those innocent people caught in the crossfire in Ukraine, but can't be bothered. We gotta help protect, tax breaks for rich people. That's the priority, not the suffering people of Ukraine. No security package for Ukraine, nothing. Vladimir Putin is celebrating as we speak. It's exactly what he wants. I'm sure my friends will get great coverage on Moscow TV, because this is exactly what Putin has been hoping for, that the Congress will walk away from helping the Ukrainians defend their sovereignty. Russia attacked Ukraine, tried to invade Ukraine without any provocation, and you're acting like it's no big deal. And the people that are being caught in the crossfire, well, we can't be bothered with giving you any humanitarian aid. Other national security priorities the president asked for, those have been put on the back burner. Like, what is this Republican majority thinking? What world are you living in? And again, please don't repeat the lie that you're paying for things with these offsets. These offsets are not real. Congressional Budget Office says it. I get it, you don't like that they say it, but they tell you the truth. And you can either ignore it or not, but don't say that somehow we're offsetting the costs of our foreign aid package here. We're not. That's a joke. It's ridiculous. It's an insult to the intelligence of the American people. It's an insult to the members of Congress that serve in this institution. And you say it with a straight face. Like, what's going on here? The chaos of the Republican Party is no longer just about the Republican Party. It has become an international embarrassment for our country. The way you are handling legislation today is an international embarrassment for our country. The insensitivity that is being demonstrated for innocent civilians being caught in the crossfire of these conflicts, that is an embarrassment for this country. A failure of government, it is a failure of government, and this is a national security threat. The grand old party, the once great party of Lincoln and Eisenhower, is no longer fit to govern. Is no longer fit to govern. It no longer represents a coherent political philosophy or ideology. It relies on scandal and spectacle to mask sedition and selfishness and greed. How else do you explain the giveaway to tax cheats in their Israel aid package? I'm pleading with normal Republicans, traditional Republicans, with courage and integrity and guts. We need you to retake your party. I want a strong Democratic Party, but we need a strong, principled Republican Party if this country is going to work. And right now, we do not have that. And again, what is happening here today? Wasting our time on appropriation bills that are so extreme in terms of what they cut, that are going nowhere. Wasting our time on that. And this cynical attempt to help big donors who cheat on their taxes by conditioning aid to Israel on protecting them I don't even, like, who thought that one up? I don't even know where that idea came from. Like who thought it was a good idea to do this? At a time of an international crisis, when, boy, wouldn't it be nice if we all spoke with one voice? Wouldn't it be great if everybody could stand up here and say we're together and we're meeting the challenges, appropriately and properly and decisively? But that's not what we're doing today. That's not what we're doing today. I have to tell you, Madam Speaker, just when you think it can't get any worse around here, it does. And I will close with this. I still can't get out of my head the ease in which my Republican friends on the Rules Committee voted to not even allow us to consider the amendments by Congressman Wasserman Schultz, especially the one on humanitarian aid. No discussion, no debate, nothing, and let's quickly all rejected it as if it was no big deal. Look at those pictures. Look at those pictures. Not only what's happening in the Middle East, but what's happening in Ukraine. And then we have to start asking ourselves, why are we here? We're supposed to be about helping people in this country, and we're supposed to be about standing for human rights all around the world. And we're dealing with these garbage appropriation bills that are a disgrace, and we're dealing with an aid package, a supplemental aid package that is insufficient in so many ways in terms of what it doesn't fund, and it's so cynical. It is so cynical. So I would say, again, I urge my colleagues, Madam Speaker, to vote no on this rule. I urge them to vote no on all the underlying bills. I urge my Republican colleagues to go to one of your many conferences that you seem to have like 5 times a day to try to work out your problems within your conference and actually come to an agreement that maybe we ought to put the country and doing what's right ahead of everything else. So with that, I yield back the balance of my time.